it is very important to draw the bold line between a gun for hire and a professional. Because we call non-professional the gun for hire. They are selling their expertise to anything anyone wants as long as it is legal. They don't care about the result of their behavior. As long as they pay well, of course, or they will not get themselves in trouble as a lawsuit or something like this illegally as well. They do anything. They don't care about the consequences of that work. So in this manner, expertise is used as a means to an end and leaves it to others what ends will be pursued. So it means that you're violating Kant's, I think, second categorical imperative here, right? You're making yourself as a material for you're making yourself to be used as a means to an end. So you're treating yourself as a material. Again, it is wrong in Kantian view. As long as gun for hire does nothing illegal, there is nothing wrong. This argument doesn't make sense, but take a moment and think about this. Just stay neutral. Is that right? You can go ahead and think about this, pause this video and think about this. And does that make sense? Just think about the ethical theories we discussed as well. But we have to accept that quickly and cheaper software, just produce them quickly and make them as cheap as possible. This type of software production is enforcing for marketing, pushing computer experts pretty hard. And they're caught in the middle here. In the gun for hire approach, if we accept this, there will be some significant vulnerability to charlatan computer experts. Again, a professionalism issue here. If we don't behave like professionals, then our profession will be under attack by so-called computer experts. That's the idea. That's what differentiates a professional from a gun for hire, and it's very important for building up a culture for the computing profession, for us, for our future at all, for your future at all. We shouldn't forget the efficacy of computer professionals. What is this efficacy? What we call here is the ability and capacity to affect the world by knowledge and their roles in organizations. It is increasing day by day. Of course, in today's world, it's at utmost importance. Look at the software products or innovations done by software in our world today, and just imagine about it in 2030, for example, when you will be some senior engineers in the private sector or like in R&D departments, for example. So the efficacy results in responsibility for safe and reliable computing for the sake of society and computer professionalism as well. Okay. The moral responsibility should be addressed here. Let's make the distinctions here. What is role responsibility? It is for assigned duties for people. For example, the bookkeeper sends the invoices and pays the bills on time. This is her role responsibility. That's it. And there can be some causal responsibility here. The actions or inactions of the agent cause harm. Like Joe crashed the network with his virus, for example. This is a causal responsibility. He did this, he crashed the network, and he is responsible for this negative consequence. And the legal responsibilities are assigned by the law. If your dog busts a postal carrier within your garden, for example, okay, you will be responsible for this by law. It's assigned by law. These are all can be exclusive. One person will pay the bills, others not. You can go ahead and pass the buck to another person easily, but moral responsibility is not exclusive. Here, there's an example from the textbook. For For example, if an infant is brought into home, both the mother and father are responsible for the baby's well-being. You cannot pass the buck here to the other parent, for example. Both are responsible. This is called a type of moral responsibility here. The moral responsibility cannot be exclusive. People cannot pass the buck by saying, my boss made the final decision and it does not me. I mean, I'm just a worker here. I mean, I did what they asked me to do. This will not help you in moral responsibility. In legal responsibility, yes, maybe you can save your ass, but actually it will not help you to get rid of the moral responsibility when you put your head on your pillow and try to get sleep. I'm talking about this. Or you cannot pass the buck by saying, I just wrote the software. I mean, okay, it was rubbish, but I wasn't responsible for testing it. I mean, what is the test department doing? I mean, they didn't do their job. They should cover or, let's say, identify my mistakes. No. I mean, you cannot pass the moral responsibility here again. Michael McFarland suggests that engineers should help each other by organizing in whistleblowing cases because it's a very important issue. And if whistleblowing should be done and no individual has the strength to do it, then it must be done by a group acting collectively. You should back your colleagues here. I mean, in this case, supporting each other, you remember from professional relationships, right? And also in these cases, the colleagues can back each other, help each other. This is just, product development from an IT fielder's perspective. It's, I think, it's funny, but it is so true. I think maybe you have an idea about this from software engineering courses as well. I just put this here. You can look at later. Pause and look at later. Okay, that's it about this chapter. We used Michael Quinn's book and Deborah Johnson's book and Wikipedia for the information and ideas, and we used heavily on the Google images for the images I put in these slides. Okay, thank you for listening.